Welcome friends, I am your host Supriya Poddar and you are watching Finestra of English. Students of undergraduate level often share with me that they find it very difficult to cope up with a subject like history of English literature, which is very vast and enormous. Indeed, the subject is too heavy. Actually, their transition from school level English to that of college level, that too with specialization, is like getting up one morning to find yourself in the middle of a sea. It was same with me also. And they get confused thinking about how to start, continue and complete it. So today, in this video, I'm going to unfold a 5-point strategy to break the shackles and make history of English literature appear as easy and attractive as you may like it. It will also be the easiest and the most effective way to study and memorize history of English literature. So what are we waiting for? Let's get started. My first point is start reading history of English literature in comparison to the history of any previously known Indian literature. As a beginner, one must start reading the history of English literature or any literature in comparison to any previously known Indian literature. What I mean by Indian literature is that a literature which is originally Indian. That is, you may like history of English literature studying with in comparison with say Hindi literature or for that matter history of Bengali literature, history of Sanskrit literature and etc. and etc. It will help the beginner to understand the pattern of development of literature which remains almost same irrespective of country, irrespective of age, irrespective of language. For example, there is the Ramayana and the Mahabharata in Indian literature. They are basically epics, and there is the Beowulf in British English literature. All of them are epical and heroic in nature, though Beowulf cannot be called a proper epic in the truest sense of the term. What I mean to say here in this first point is that, for example, I am Bengali. I am reading history of English literature for the first time. So I may like reading history of Bengali literature which I have known previously during my school days and compare it with the history of English literature which I am studying now because the basic pattern of development, as I have said already, is the same. It never changes. For example, the beginning of any literature is the beginning of epic. There is Ramayana, there is the Mahabharata in Indian literature, there is Beowulf, there is Iliad, there is Odyssey. Now move on to the second point, selection of good books. Now, what I mean by good books? Actually, uh, good here is very relative. What is good to me, what is good for me is not good for another person. So it's up to you what you would like to find in a book which you want to buy. So selection of good books is very vital. Selection of good books, rather authentic books, is very vital. For a beginner, a short and concise version of history of English literature is important. After getting acquainted with a shorter version, getting an in-depth knowledge becomes important to prepare the answers. For example, a book like that of Edward Albert is indispensable for a beginner, whereas books like that of David H.S. or Albert C. Baugh are vital for in-depth knowledge. I prefer these three books more than any other because I have used them, I know them very well. Edward Albert is very precise, very lucid, very easy. It will help to simply love history of English literature. It will make history of English literature very attractive to any beginner. And after this easy, precise, and short version of history of English literature is done with, then there is David H.S. and Albert Seaborg. They are exhaustive studies. David H.S., as I can remember, is in 3 volume, and Albert Seaborg is also, I think, in 3 or 4 volume. So you can see David H.S. and Albert Seaborg are very exhaustive. However, they are detailed, so they will help you in various ways to prepare answers in a very rich and detailed manner. So selection of good books is very vital. If you like, you may comment in the comment section below. I will try to make a video on good books which are available in the market right now, and try to point out the pros and cons of the books I will take for review in that video. So if you like, if you want, comment in the comment section. I will try to prepare a video on that. Now move on to the next point. The third point is group study. Group study is very important and effective for students of advanced level. So study in groups. Always study in groups. Obviously, all the group members should be in the same league so far as their attitude and approach are concerned. In this way, the preparation is divided into small parts for each individual and it does not become tiresome. You may later on exchange your notes, discuss them with each other, prepare them yourself. Group study makes your study very enjoyable, very, what should I say, easy. They will not create any pressure on you. So try to study in groups, at least for 2 to 3 hours. Try to study with your friends, exchange your notes, discuss topics among you, and prepare them. My next point is mind mapping. It is very important. Mind mapping. Mind mapping is very important for a vast subject like that one we are concerned with, that is the history of English literature. Mind mapping is nothing but the chalking out of the skeletal structure of a vast topic in small and important points to memorize and plan the topic. History of literature is divided into ages, periods, events, authors, works being the smallest unit. Starting with the age, you must prepare a mind mapping of an age in nutshell. You may use the following points: timeline, main features, socio-economic background, literary features, chief literary figures and their works, chief pieces of literary works. Do this for individual literary figures also and for individual works also. At last, bunch all the mind maps made for the entire syllabus and it will be a ready reckoner for you. If you don't understand what I mean by mind mapping, comment in the comment box. I will try to give you a what should I say, a model on mind mapping in upcoming videos on history of English literature so that you can prepare it yourselves and get it done before your exam. Hopefully it will help you a lot. It has helped me a lot in my college days, in my university days. So hopefully it will also help you. Now, the fifth point. Fifth point is also very important as far as scoring in history of English literature is concerned. Please follow previous years for question pattern trend. Though I will suggest you to go through the history of English literature thoroughly, do not leave your comfort zone. Dedicate your labor to your achievement. After all, marks do matter. And so follow question papers of the previous years and try to grasp the trend. What is important for you and what is not. And emphasize on the important portions and topics. It will minimize your mental pressure, if not your syllabus. It will also boost your confidence. So, friends, I have already pointed out 5 points based upon which you may prepare for history of English literature. These points I think will also help you in other papers also. Hopefully this video will give you a basic idea of how to prepare history of English literature in the undergraduate level. So if you find the video helpful, please drop a like, comment as per your feedback, and share the video with your friends. And of course, don't forget to subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon for notification on future uploads. That's it for today. Hope to see you in my next video. Thank you.